Okay, so this time I chose to read an article called Learn from Others by Paul Andrews and Judy Sanders. And this article is kind of geared towards older kids, like maybe young high school levels or high junior high. And I want to be teaching that old of kids, but I think that what this article has to offer can be really beneficial to what I will be teaching. And so I decided to continue reading it, even though it was geared to older kids. So, for a quick summary, basically, this article was all about culture and how culture ties into observing. Uh, we're all used to information from the culture that we were raised in. So, for example, I was raised in the Midwest. I went to school here. I went to college here. My parents were raised here. My brothers were raised here. And basically, I learned through observing the things that are around me. And so I've observed like a lot from the Midwest. And that's great, but it's just one culture and there's so many more around me. So basically, this article was about how observing and participating, so like watching, doing, and critiquing different cultures can be really effective when it comes to teaching. And it basically just kind of used an example throughout the whole article. And so I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. And that's what's kind of geared to older kids. So the two authors had been, excuse me, in education for 30 years, and they'd been observing teachers teach linear uh, introduction to linear equations. And as they do this, teachers here in the culture that they were observing was in the United States were rehearsing problems that require mental strategies for solving orally given problems. And so that's how most of the teachers they were observing were doing it. They were all doing it the same way. And not that the way that they were doing it was bad. It's just the authors just wanted to see how different cultures could help in taking away and like helping students take away more from the introduction to linear equations. So hopefully that makes sense. So basically they started with the first teacher, and this teacher was a Finnish teacher. They also observed a Flemish teacher and a Hungarian teacher. So the Flemish teacher started out with saying this quote: "An equation is like scales. In principle, you have a balance. The equation is true." So basically, he had one of the equations where you have an equation on one side equals the equation on the other side. So both of these will equal the same amount. But he was having his students figure out what x would be, and they were basically problem solving to get that answer. The Flemish teacher, she started out with kind of an engagement word problem. So it says Marge is 33, Bart is 10, Lisa is 7, and Maggie is 0. How many years would the sum of kids equal their mothers? So these students constructed a table. They were able to figure out what the answer was, and they were problem solving to get that answer. So the teacher didn't really give them the answer right away. They were just trying to figure it out. The Hungarian teacher started with open-ended sentences, and then like sentence problems, and then they were solving for relation, and then it went into word problems. So as you can see, all of the three European cultures did the same thing a lot differently, and basically they all had like their own way of doing it, and not that any of the other ones, not anyone was bad. It's just they were all doing it differently, and being able to observe how different cultures do it is just very beneficial, because then you're able to see how other people are doing it, and then able to better the work that you're doing. So the three things that I took away from this article are that, one, that I need to be observing other classrooms. And this, I even meant like my school and my town. So as a teacher, I need to make sure I'm observing other people just in general, to be learning from them, because even though they may still be in my same school and we may be doing most of the stuff similar, I can still take away those little ideas that may be different. Number two, observe other cultures. they have different strategies and experiences to offer, and so I just need to be observing those as well. And I kind of was reading this article as first, and I was like, how am I supposed to observe other cultures? Whether it's like a different town, like a town would be easier, but a different state or a different country gets a little bit tricky. And I was kind of just thinking about like, there's no way I can actually really do that. But then I thought about technology and how I'm lucky that I have easy, accessible technology to use. And I could definitely be like FaceTiming into different classrooms and different cultures, and also just watching videos, doing video chats, stuff like that, to be able to better my observation of other cultures and being able to make my teaching most effective. So, observing other cultures, I need to be doing that. Also, to accept critique. So, I didn't really talk about this much, but the article also talked about how critique is important because you're critiquing through observation. And it's hard to accept critique when the critique is thrown at you. And so just being able to be okay with critique, and it's not just hateful comments, but they're making my teaching better. And so that is also something else that I took away, because I want to be able to accept critique throughout all my teaching. So basically, what can we take away from learning through observation? Just to like observe other cultures and to develop new ways of doing what we do to make what we do more effective. So that's a lot of do's, but it kind of summarizes the whole article, just to be effective at what we're doing through observation. So it was a good article. I liked it, and I can definitely take it away through younger kids. I don't really want to teach younger kids, but through middle schoolers, it was good. So thanks for watching.